So I want to hop on here and do a quick video, mainly because I want to make awareness on the subject, because right now I've got a situation here that I'm dealing with simply because of farm stores not knowing what they're doing. So let's talk about that. So don't mind the mess. I had to milk cows today. Right now I want to talk about something. It's gone. It just died. Frick. Viewer discretion. If you're not interested in seeing dead animals, please don't watch this video. Just a minute ago, this chick was alive. Barely, but it was alive. So let's talk about how I ended up with these, why I have them. So if you guys have ever raised chickens before, you know that winter is not a good time to get chickens. And if you are completely new to getting chickens, let me make you aware. Because we're in a situation right now where somebody was not made aware, and this is the problem. So, this is really disappointing. Animals need proper care. And feed stores, farm stores, if you're selling livestock, I think you should give proper information. Now, I work at Tractor Supply, and every time I've gone in there to buy birds, I've never handed out birds myself. Every time I've gone in to buy birds, I've never had an issue. I've had people tell me about the breed. They can tell you what the difference between pullets and straight run is. And that's really helpful if you're a beginner, which I was at one time, and I needed help. I needed to learn. Now, they couldn't give you all the information. If you're got someone in Tractor Supply like me, who like literally studied all of the stuff about chickens, like a lot at least, then it's really going to help you out if you have someone like that behind the brooder box and not someone who's not knowledgeable on the subject at all. So, if you're new to getting chickens, I want to tell you this now. Don't get chicks in the winter. There are stores such as Royal King, I'm specifically speaking about today. Royal King is selling chickens right now, and they sell chickens all year round. And if you're like been doing chickens for a lot of years, or even if you haven't been doing chickens for a lot of years and you have the equipment to keep chicks, go for it. I can't stop you from doing that. But if you're brand new to chickens, you see chickens at the store, they're selling them, and Royal King employees do not give you the proper information and don't try to, suggest things, or even if you ask and they don't educate you properly, don't get chicks at this time of year. This is a really, really bad time of year to get chicks. So, backstory about this peep right here. Some people in my area got chicks. They saw them, brand new to chicken keeping. They wanted to get chickens. They brought home 4. Now, they didn't have all the equipment that I do. And so their chicks started dropping out. They started dying. And so they gave me a call and they said, hey, can you come over and look at them? I went over and checked on them. And it was just a really not good scenario because they weren't prepared for what was coming. And nobody told them that this is what they need. Now, if you're going to get chickens, I do suggest you do your research. Don't just go out and buy things on a whim. I've been doing chicken keeping for like 10 years now. So to go out on a whim, I don't need to go out and just buy chicks. But I know like what needs to happen to them if I get them right now. So as soon as I heard about this situation, I tried to go over and help them as best I could. But then it ended up just getting worse and worse, and they said, hey, can you take these birds? So started out with 4. I ended up with 2 because the other 2 had sadly passed away. So last night I brought them home. I put them, this is a completely insulated room. The floors are heated. This brooder box, I can show you this. This brooder box is completely heated with this heat lamp, this heat plate. It's got fresh shavings. It's got feed and water. And so it has everything a chick's gonna need, right? But it's still the shock for these birds to go from basically no heat to no like proper food either. That's another thing. If you're getting chickens, do not get layer feed. You need to get starter grower crumbles, okay? This is small enough feed that they can digest it. I don't suggest feeding your chicks other things until they're full grown, but if you're in a scenario where you bought the wrong food and you have to feed your birds something, try egg yolk or hard-boiled eggs, or you can even try applesauce, or I think even berries and yogurt or something like that. Do your research first. Don't take my word for it. If I am your research, I think that's all safe. The yogurt might be the only thing that I would question, but it's healthy probiotics, so I would assume not. But anyway, so I took them home, right? I took these chicks home and I thought this is going to be good. I put them in under the heater. They started moving around. They were not chirping an alarm chirp, which if you've ever heard chicks peeping, it's a soft, like mellow little beep, beep, beep. But if they're like really vocalizing their peeps and it's really, really loud and annoying, check on your birds. The likelihood that one of them is struggling is going to be a very high possibility. And all of those chicks were doing that. All of them were in a scenario that they just couldn't survive in. And so I'm not blaming the people that I got the chickens from, although I will suggest this to everyone. Do your research before you get animals, okay? Animals, just because they're cute, you can't just pick up animals. Understand that, okay? But secondly, I'm more so upset at feed stores for selling birds this time of year whenever it's really difficult to keep them alive, especially when they're this young and this fragile. This bird here still has fluff. It still has its complete baby fluff. This bird is so young, I want to say still, a week or two, and being shipped on, wherever they came from. That was difficult, traveling into the brood boxes at Rural King, and then to a situation where they were cold, back to heat, not fed properly because they didn't have the stuff to feed it because they bought the wrong bag of food, to being fed the right stuff. It was a lot of really bad things stacked up against it. And so I knew going into it these chicks might not live, and that did unfortunately end up happening. Both of them passed away today. And so my main point is this. It's winter, don't get chickens. Unless you have the stuff for it, you've done your research, you know what you're doing before you get into it, know that there's a risk. I've been doing chickens for years, and I did not want this scenario to happen, but I knew that they had a greater chance surviving with all the stuff I had rather than surviving with nothing at all. It's a really sad and disappointing thing. And I'm not just saying like ganging up on other farm stores just because I work at Tractor Supply. Before I worked at Tractor Supply, I would have honestly always taken their side. Tractor Supply only sells chicks in the spring, and when you go in there, I've never ever found one employee that hasn't given me at least some tidbit of information on these birds. When I go to Rural King and buy birds, which I rarely do because I do not like the hatchery that they get theirs from, and I don't really agree with their whole setup and how the chicks are taken care of. It's not cool in my opinion. And so as much as I want to go like save all the chickens, I would rather go to better stock and quality, and that's where all my chickens have come from, is Tractor Supply. A couple from Rural King, but not many. And even when I go to Rural King, all the ones from Rural King have passed away within the past, they get to like 3 years old, and that's it. My original chickens from Tractor Supply, 8 years old. Now, I think wherever they're hatchery is. I do think that there is messing with the breeds at this point. I don't think the breeds are the same, but they're just good quality stock and they're well taken care of. Even watching the training videos, because I work there now, right? Watching the training videos on how to take care of them, if we find a sick chick, we take it out, take it back, and try to take care of it. Royal King, from what I'm seeing, I always find either a dead bird, a sick bird, crossbeak, pasty butt, you name it, there's something wrong with those chicks. It's disappointing to see a farm store so after money. In my opinion, that's what Royal King is all about. That's why it's so big and has so much stuff. They're so focused on the money that they're not worried about the livelihood of their animals. And I'm disappointed in how they take care of their birds, and I'm upset that this scenario even happened in the first place. So, 2 scenarios here that I wanted to hop on here and tell you guys about. If you're new and you want chickens, wait till spring. If you want chickens right now and you're new, do your research. Please do your research anyway before you get chickens, because they're a lot of work. This is another thing we run into. Every spring, Easter, people go in and they buy pets for Easter presents. All these chickens and ducks that go to these homes, and then they realize the work that comes into it. It's a lot. It's a lot to take care of. And other scenarios, you get chicks for Easter and, they go back into your flock, or you start a flock and you fall in love with them. But do your research beforehand, because getting animals just because they're cute is not a good idea. And secondly, farm stores, please do better. I don't think we should be selling chickens at this time of year. It's too cold. It's just not a good scenario. And so, for both of those scenarios, all of it, if you have any questions about it, leave it in the comment section below. Obviously, we want to help you. I want to help you get started, because I think chickens are a beautiful journey. And I think you should get some yourself. I'm not saying that chickens, don't get chickens at all because they're so hard to take care of. No. Once you figure it out and you do your research and you learn about them, the easier it gets. And this was just a little hiccup that just kind of happened, and I'm sad that it did happen. I wish I could have changed it, but this is the card that we were dealt, and sadly, all 4 chicks passed. So, I just wanted to bring this on here as, a show of what can happen and what shouldn't happen. So, do your research. If I am your research, thank you for watching this video. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below and I will get back to them, I promise. And even then, you can email me. My email should be in my YouTube, a link somewhere. I think it might be linked below. And my Instagram is also linked below. You can DM me there. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, as sad and disappointing as it was. I hope you stuck around and learned something during our time here. So, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.